right, so here we go. Again.
Here we go.
Is it cold?
No, Jaya, it's not cold. It's room temperature, how I like all my fruits.
Oh my.
But apparently you like your fruits cold like Jaya.
Yeah, I love cold soursop. I love cold soursop. It's
She's like, you like it cold? I'm like, no, you can split it and put your half in the
in the
fridge.
fridge. Oh yes, no, trust me. I feel it's just really, I don't know, it does it for me when it's cold.
It
Cold
does it for me when it's hot.
hot soursop. I don't think I've ever had hot soursop,
Not hot, but room temperature.
But it makes me wonder if like somebody would make like a creamy soursop kind of warm beverage thing, how that would be like. That might actually be,
I'm feeling it.
yeah, it's
What could
giving
we
me
put?
like a
Okay,
mhm.
what could we put hot soursop ice cream on? Or like put it like in a whipped cream? Like what kind of beverage could we put a dollop of soursop ice cream
Like a
into?
sea moss tea.
Okay, you heard it here first, guys. Give us our credit and go and boom with your money on it.
Mhm. I remember like this really good soursop tea I used to have that like you could taste the eucalyptus in it. It was so on point. That
A soursop tea that had
no,
eucalyptus in it.
sorry, a sea moss tea with eucalyptus. Sorry.
Wow, that's
Yes, that
a
was
lot.
really good. A sea moss tea with eucalyptus.
Mm. All right. Well, on that note, let's jump in to
Let's jump
more
in.
abundance and providence. Big up our sponsor, Nature Soursop, is our sponsor
Oh
today.
yes.
Cold and room temperature soursop. This episode is brought to you by Cold Soursop.
Full soursop for the win.
Yes.
Let's share screen.
Oh, what a day! What a day! What a day! Because it's you who was granted the cosmic grace of being free from the entrapment of part-time job. Like, yes, girl, you were. That distinction that you are full-time on your own time. And that is where we left off, right? Out there for anyone listening, that you can find that. And that's what it is we chose to do when we chose to have this conversation out loud. We could have had this conversation privately, but we chose to share it. Because I want all of us to know that I haven't needed it till now, and I haven't needed it for myself or others till now, and I'm glad. Like I'm excited by the need. I'm excited by the inclination and the want, and I'm like, let me see if there's anything here for me in this online world, because I've been so self-reliant in my own way. But now that I'm creating this other stuff, I need to open my mind, open myself. I need to open the network. Also, money is changing in the world, and I want to relearn so I can teach. I want to upgrade the way I navigate money and the online world. I've been working online for about 5-6 years, with clients, but now that I want to put myself, I'm like, who can I go to? And it means so much to me that I have you. And so you said, when I asked you, you said, it means so much to you to have this conversation with me, and you'd be happy to share it with me because you credit me for that support in the beginning, for you being able to find this. And that's the perfect symbiosis, because if Sacred Dialogue didn't hold space for your kinetic energy, which is what kin is, yeah? So if I didn't hold space for that kinetic energy for you to just go there and be like, yeah, be glad you lost your job. Don't worry about how you're supposed to think. Allow yourself to think exactly how you think. Like, your relationship with money and abundance and providence and prosperity and provisions. Like, you know yourself. And I'm just here to remind you that you know yourself. And if I didn't allow myself to be myself and be Xylor to you, you wouldn't go become this bomb, nuclear lovers bomb that you are. Like you're just expanding and expanding in an atomic, cosmic way of abundance, and being able to share it and be like, oh yeah, like I have enough to share. Like I can put people on. I can tell you how to trade, and people make it seem like it's something so difficult. You know, obviously this thing that people are listening to at this moment is not going to teach you how to trade. It's the idea of opening people up to the fact that that is what you do and sharing like your journey with it. But you know, she's actually saying that you can reach out. So or reach in. And I think that is very important for you to sit with yourself and not fear we're talking to whoever's listening, to not fear the realization of the need, and not feel defeated, like, oh crap, now I've been doing this for so long and now I have to.
I'm not hearing it.
Because I know
Yes,
that
I was.
I know it, so many more are going to be able to learn it too. And that's what we want. We want the network to understand how expansive we are and how we're going to share that freedom. That's a privilege of freedom, so that we can pass it on. Yes. And it can overflow. I wanted to ask you, how would you describe, I wrote down like, what is it about you that gives you this relationship with money and resource and abundance? Like, how do you see money? Like, how would you phrase that? Like,
I'm very interested in this answer.
how do I see money? Honestly, especially now after the way that I've been dealing with money over the past few years, it has been very, very different. And I feel like generally in the world, we deal with money, many of us deal with money less so much in a physical way than we used to. But there's definitely been, for me, with working online, a true like visual representation of how much money is an exchange for my energy. In different ways. Like I get on the computer, whether it is that I talk to people and help them figure out how they want to do their landscaping or their fence or whatever other home improvement, whether it's roofing projects that they want to get done, being able to connect them to a business that's a contractor who's able to do it, or with a business owner, the marketing that they're able to do. It's like an exchange of energy. You're helping somebody to solve a problem and you're cashing out, essentially. So I love that. Yeah, so that was then like, it's not always you helping somebody to solve a problem, but you present your
pause. Here we go.
You're a cash cow.
A real cash cow as a Taurus.
A real cash cow. Damn. Okay. Continue.
Energy in different ways, even with something like trading and investing. It's you're the one showing up and making a decision on a trade. And you're the one receiving whatever benefit there is to make.
I want to add something to this right now.
I love that. Yeah, go ahead.
So interested in hearing my perspective on money back then, and it's 100% on point for me even now that it's an energetic exchange.
Yeah.
What I do want to add to it is that there, like, you know, when you think about an energetic exchange, sometimes you're thinking, or I know some people who hear that might be thinking you're trading energy for money. And I want to clarify that that's actually not what I mean. It's not a trade of energy for money, because I mean, anything, you can look at it that way, like clocking into a job, you're putting energy into the work and then you're getting paid for it. But I want to say that it's also just like an energy of attraction too, as well. Just based on my recent experiences with money, especially this year. This year has taught me a lot about being in a certain zone. And it's not just money, because I will say that this applies to my writing as well. When it comes to my writing, when it comes to money, I know just a certain space that I need to be in to write an article, and I get myself into that space and I start writing. And then, the words will flow, the ideas will flow, the way that I want to put the words together will just flow once I know that I have myself in the space that I need to be in. And I think of it as a, a game of alignment. So this is where I need to be on the spectrum in order to get an article out of myself. And I can really feel sometimes when I'm getting into that space of you're about to make a lot of money. And it's always right. It's like I feel okay, and then once I hit that point, whether and it's funny because the fact that I do so many different things, I never really know which one it's gonna come from, It comes from so many different places.
But you know it's coming.
But I know it's coming. Prime example, I felt it last week. I was like, yeah, I feel like I'm about to make some more money. And I got on my regular meeting that I have every 2 weeks with one of my clients, and they just said, hey, we actually need somebody to do XYZ on our website. If you want to do it, it's yours. If not, we'll get somebody else to do it, but you can charge us X amount,
Something. I want
Wow.
something.
1 second.
Yes. I love that. Ooh, that's very important. And looks only going to add something.
Yeah, he actually told me he's playing this game, and he came to tell me the more activities I play, the more surprises I earn. which
Okay.
which is
Okay.
funny because I was
Receive
just
that.
saying, I have
Yeah.
so many different places different things that I do.
Yeah.
Since we did that podcast back then, I have done tarot, I have done consultations, I have done just so many different things, and you just don't know where it's gonna show up. But this is what I do, and this is what I'm open to. And then people reach out to me randomly. Hey, I need this done. Can you help with this? Can you help with that? And if it's something that I feel like I would like to do this, I do it. But again, the energy is not an effort. Hey, let me do this, do this, do this. But an energetic space that I get into, and I find more sources, or one of the sources would just increase, but I can always feel when I'm going there for sure.
I love it. I love that so much. Oh, and for me, I'm just really zoning in on the need, like loving the need, loving the need that like the new need that life puts a new need in you to be like, hey, what if you needed this? What would you do? How would you source it? How would you connect to it? How would you affirm that need? How would you give that need a home, a space to live, a space to flourish, a space to grow? Yeah, so
Yeah.
let's go. The
other thing I wanted to add to that, I recently read this book by the name is escaping me right now, but I will mention it. Gilbert Jeffersois, that's the name. Gilbert Jeffersois, a Saint Lucian. And it's Goodbye Death, Hello Freedom, I believe is the name.
Okay.
But I was reading it, and it's he is religious, so it has a religious spin on a lot of things about money, like tithing, among other things. But it had me thinking about, like, okay, he has this percentage going towards tithing, this percentage going towards this, towards that. I don't really have a church to tithe to, but there are causes that I can give money to,
Of course.
outside of that. And also it's really put a lot of things into perspective for me, with like how not just making money, but how you deal with your money energetically, how you think about your spending, it feels different coming from a space of me giving a mission to this money. 10% of this is gonna go towards X, Y, and Z. And I know like I've made decisions, because one thing I really care about where my money goes. And when I don't feel aligned with a company, I'm very quick to say, I'm not gonna spend my money on this anymore. But making the conscious decision to, I want to give to this, and I'm gonna give in the form of money, has also been really huge for me. So I just wanted to mention that
I
too.
love that. Yeah.
That yes, giving money intentionally to things that I care about has really helped me feel better about how I use the money.
And how I would imagine where I am the same way. For me, it's how I make it, and that I make it. Because
Yeah.
some of us are not in position to make money, and some things money is needed for. Like that's a need. And so you want to give money to certain spaces and causes. And yes, of course, energy, time, love, devotion, prayer, whatever you want to do, but money as well. And good money needs to be highly charged money, specifically charged by the likes of us. That kind of money deserves to take up space in certain spaces. And so it's exciting to create channels. It's like a river that had been cut off from its delta, and you keep making a little pathway to it. And so it's not really money that you're making, but you're creating pathways for money to flow to these places through you. Because maybe a lot of people because I know so many important causes that are real. A lot of people who have money want to know where to give that money to, because not every
Oops.
Yeah, so I was saying it's charged by us, this money's charged by us, and it's like you're digging that river delta, and like a river that had been cut off from itself, from the sea. And so you're creating pathways for that money, and we are that delta, we are that pathway where we make money, allow money to come to us so that we can allow money to flow to very specific places, and spaces that life allows us to be aware of new needs. Like, oh, I didn't realize that need existed. Yeah, I want to give that need money. Definitely. Yes, I want to give it money, energy, money, time, resources. I want to give it money. It deserves money. It needs money. It deserves money, whatever that need or cause might be. So yeah, it's it's such an honor and a grace and exciting and humbling and just powerful to see that your will can willfully supply and can willfully power things with money and resources of attention and cash. Yeah.
Indeed.
Okay.
Let's proceed.
Invest in a certain way or to trade whichever currency. You present your energy in different ways, even with something like trading and investing. It's you're the one showing up and making a decision on a trade. And you're the one receiving whatever benefit there is to making that choice to invest in a certain way or to trade whichever currency and so on. And there's just so much. Seeing the people that I see the way that they've helped me make money online, and helping other people, and also making money from that. It's very inspiring for me too. Just seeing the network expand, because I'm also seeing people that I have helped get work online, helping others, and just the whole expansive process of that. It always feels really good. Yeah, I'm hearing connection and inspiration, transference and energetic exchanges of that kind of connection and inspiration. That's what I'm hearing so far. Continue. I just wanted to like plug that out.
Yes, so I wanted to touch back on what you mentioned about how much you helped me with being able to do this. This is like the greatest level of freedom that I've ever felt in my life, monetarily, physically, like, and so on. But I feel like it begins from even before that. Okay, just feeling the freedom of owning like my authenticity, like actually feeling like I can claim who I am and show up as myself. So seeing that manifest into me making thousands and thousands of dollars over the entire pandemic, doing things like trading and phone sex and writing, is a true testament of my being able to express myself, being able to show up as myself. One of the first things that I spoke to you about when I did my very first sacred dialogue, I was battling so much confusion and like difficulty with accessing my sexual nature. I was suppressing a lot that I did not want to suppress. And I feel like I came to you and you just gave me permission, like, to.
Honey, take it off, put it on, take it out, put it in.
This is one of my favorite
Yes,
things
Zion,
from
yes.
you.
Starts with being whatever I feel like. I felt like I got that permission to just be who I felt like being. And it's so funny because everything that came out of that has been the result of me getting permission from you to give myself permission, like all along the way. I remember just when in 2016, when I left like the office sales job, it was the campaign that I was on was actually closing down, and we would have been moved to another campaign. We had to go interview for another campaign to find, which one was best suited. And when they called me to, see what interviews I wanted to schedule for the other campaigns, I just said to myself that I don't want any of it. Like, I don't know what exactly I want to do after this, but that is not it. And a lot of people were worried, like they were looking at me like, what do you mean you don't want a job? Like you haven't, like, it was a guaranteed job. I just had to interview for which specific campaign I would have been on. Part of me just knew I just did not want to do that. So I politely declined. And I even ended up having a meeting with the director because he was confused as to why I was just
I remember
that.
all about it.
completely turning down the job, but just not there. From there, I left my last day at that job having not much of a clue as to what I wanted to do. So what happened was in the latter days of that job, I was not really taking it that seriously because like it was over. I would get on the phones and call when I wanted to make some money, but I would not just like consistently be doing work. I was doing a lot of knitting on the job. I had learned like finger knitting and a bunch of other like styles online.
That's all you were.
Yes, I was showing up to work and doing that all day. And my coworkers were like my first market because I had made some for myself. I started wearing them to work, and somebody was like, "Where did you get that?" I said, "Well, I made it." So she asked me to make her one, and that just turned into me knitting all day on the job and selling like my little knitted necklaces.
Not me selling at the people's sales job.
Hello.
For different styles and different things. And so I left that job ended like mid-October. And when did I sign up? I feel I might have signed up for that before I left the job. So because I know that their registration is usually in September, but the Taiwanese trade exhibition was coming up at the end of November. And I said I should sign up and set up a stall and like sell my stuff there. And I would be knitting all day, just going to the beach every day, knitting for the entire day, and then going back home to sleep and do it again the next day. And that felt so good to me because I could literally be anywhere. Like I would be at the beach on Monday. I would decide to go, up in the forest on a hill or somewhere and just be by myself, relax. I did so much journaling during that time as well. I had so much time to myself. Everything just felt so synchronistic during that time. But I did the trade exhibition. I was knitting at the exhibition, which attracted a lot of attention because people were like genuinely curious, like, how are you knitting with so many needles? I was just knitting on my fingers, and that was a really good experience for me. And so fast forward to about a month after I did the exhibition, I found out that I was pregnant. And at that point, I was still knitting. I was still selling the neck pieces, but I also got a job as a substitute teacher at a secondary school. So I was teaching and I was knitting, and that was around the time when we started seeing each other every week, doing the mentoring. So yeah, I went through, that's what I did during my pregnancy. I was a substitute teacher and selling my neck pieces as well. And I remember coming to the Sacred Dialogue as well and showing off the way that I do it and the neck pieces when we were doing them.
That was fun.
And that's when that was the day when I kind of announced to, friends and everybody who was there that I was expecting, and also announced it on social media that very day. I remember. I remember that day so clearly also because I started a journal. I keep a journal for so long. And I started it that day at the beach. So I'll find the dates.
So this is such a full one, what you're about to go into. And our time is up. It's been a half hour.
Okay.
So I think I want us to do a little bit of clothing because
Yes.
it's gonna cut us off in a second.
Okay.
And I want to reserve that one to start the next one because I feel like so much has been said and I want us to process it a little, run against the clock for fun and see when it cuts us off and then we'll pick up.
True.
So I just want to say what a beauty and bounty it is to reflect on what you did during your pregnancy and to prepare for your pregnancy in such a bountiful physiological providence space and time that you were full of life, creating life. And I want to say, when you talk about claiming, how Sacred Dialogue gave you that space to claim who you were, I wrote in a chat for us that my highlight from this conversation is claiming yourself on your taxes. You want to check on him? He's keeping us to our time. That's what's happening.
Yes.
He's like, hello, you said 30 minutes. It's 30 minutes.
Wrap it up. Yeah.
Let's go. We're wrapping it up, my G. I want to say that I wanted to pick up from where we left this next time is the power of claiming yourself on your taxes, on the things that tax you in life, not obviously your taxes.
Mm-hmm.
But in a year's space, claiming yourself, oh yes, this is my stake, this is how far I've come, this is what I've built, this is the me who's gone through that. Hey life, do you realize that you let me go through that? Because I want to claim that for my ROI, for my returns on my taxes. So I'll leave that for us. We'll end to honor the time and the essence of what that gave us.
Yeah.
And you can say something before it cuts us off, and then we can
pick up. Do I have anything else that I would like to say? I feel like this part of the episode was just so fulfilling for me to listen to.
Yeah.
And the fact that, I mean, coming from then to now, I've built on that in, ways that I didn't see coming. But it's important that even from now, like from this point now, I know we talked a lot about how I earned, on there. But I think right now, like the point in my life that I'm at right now is more so about how I manage what I've already earned. I actually recently moved into a smaller space, right? And I've noticed, well, for one, to be honest, moving into a smaller space has done so much for me mentally. Just the organization of it and the way that I'm able to, one, clean my entire house before leaving the house without a problem. Like all of that, just the way that I'm able to maintain it is so easy, and it had me thinking about money too, in that sometimes you have a lot of money, but you're not really intentional about how you're managing it. And so it doesn't feel as good as, let's say, you have a budget, a smaller budget, but you're so intentional about how you use it that it does everything and more. You know what I mean? It does everything and more. And I always say, if you can't manage a little, you can't manage a lot, right?
And that's it.
And yeah.
Okay. We did it. We'll pick it up next week. All right. Send it to me when you can.
Perfect.
Thank you for watching us if you did. We're happy for watching us because we did.
I love your little alien, by the way.
Oh.
Your alien.
More to come on that.
Okay. We'll talk about that one.
All right. I love you. Bye.
Love you too. Bye-bye.